to the Travel Pockets cooking show.
We're actually together cooking.
I know. We're always separate, you know, since we were in quarantine before. That's when we were doing our cooking videos, but now we're together because I'm in California. I did a road trip to see Candy and stay with Candy for a little bit. So on our road trips, we like to make our specific road trip food. It's always Japanese food that we make with us, and we've gotten so many requests to make this video, so we're finally doing it. And today's video, we're gonna show you how to cook onigiri, which is rice balls, and also karaage, which is like Japanese fried chicken nuggets. And these are two super easy dishes to make, and it's perfect to take with you on a road trip.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna start off and show you how to make the rice balls. So the one thing you really want to get right with this is the type of rice you buy. We're not being biased, but definitely get Japanese rice for rice balls, because if you get any other type of rice, it's not gonna quite taste the way you want it to. This is the rice that we buy. It just happened to be on sale at the Japanese market, and it is Japanese short grain rice. So why do we get the short grain rice? Because it has starch in it, and you need that starch to make the rice sticky. And that's what's gonna hold or glue the rice balls together. So do not buy rice that is a long grain. For example, brown rice like this is a no-no. You will probably see on the market other types of short grain rice. For example, this is Korean short grain rice, which is actually a pretty good one. I do it sometimes when I run out of the Japanese one. So this is a good alternative. If you don't have a Japanese market and you have a Korean market near you, you can get but get their premium. It's usually labeled premium rice, so do that and make sure it's short grain. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you how then I wash it and prepare the rice. Typically when you buy a rice cooker, it will come with a measuring cup. So make sure to use the measuring cup that comes with the device, because if you use a regular measuring cup, it's a little bit different, so make sure to use the measuring cup that came with your rice cooker or whatever cooker you're using. So I've already put in 2 cups, and my rice cooker cooks up to 3, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill one more. Do 3 cups. And once I have that in there, I am going to rinse the rice about 3 to 4 times in cold water. So I'll put it in water, I'll squish it around and mix it, drain it, and then I'll repeat the process about 3 to 4 times. All right, so now that I have the water measured to 3 cups, right here where it says white, you can see, I'm gonna stick this in the rice cooker. And my rice cooker is a Japanese brand called Zojirishi, but I did buy this in the US, so all the instructions are in English, and I am always in a hurry. So I'm gonna set the menu to make the rice quick, and then when I start this, it's gonna give me that magic sound that it's ready to cook. It's like I'm gonna go to bed or something.
So lovely. Okay, so while that rice is cooking, we're gonna get started on preparing the karaage, which is the Japanese fried chicken nuggets. So the ingredients that you'll need for this: soy sauce. And you can get soy sauce basically anywhere nowadays.
Next, you will need cooking sake.
I actually go to the liquor store and buy sake, and you can buy like the cheapest one. And I got like a big bottle of it.
Oh,
they have a
like that green one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then you'll also need mirin, and this is a sweet rice wine. I mean, I've seen this sometimes in American grocery stores in the Asian section. And also, just to let you know, these are huge bottles because we use them all the time, but they also sell them in really small bottles. You also need fresh ginger, and you want fresh ginger, do not buy powdered ginger. And because you are using fresh ginger, you will need a grater. And just make sure you're not using a cheese grater. This grater for ginger and other types like daikon is a little bit different. And we'll also, link below where you can buy these graters. And you can also buy them in the Asian market. I think I actually bought this on Amazon. So they're very readily available.
And last, you'll need cornstarch. Typically, you actually use potato starch for this. But cornstarch is much easier to find.
Oh, I forgot to mention, there is one more ingredient, oil.
Okay.
You want to get vegetable oil. Don't use olive oil because that does not fry food very well. It's very heavy.
Oh, you know what?
One more.
Chicken thighs.
Yeah.
We keep on saying like, one more thing. Okay, so seriously, one more thing. This is boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You have to use chicken thighs. We actually tried to use chicken breast one time and it did not come out great. This is a 1.30 pounds, but yeah, around like 1.5 pounds is what I typically get. Okay, so all you have to do with the chicken thighs is just cut it into bite-sized pieces. So I like to just cut this in strips, thick strips first, and then kind of cube it after that. And you know, take off any bones. Sometimes when you get chicken, even though it says boneless, sometimes there are still little remnants of bones, so just make sure it's not in there. Here's all our chicken.
Yummy.
All cut up. See that?
Now that we have the chicken cut into chunks, Crystal is going to put in the soy sauce, meating second, and then I'm also going to cut up the ginger and then grate it.
I actually just eye this now because I've made this so many times. 2 to 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Okay. Then sake, about a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half, somewhere around there, within the meating. Same thing, about a tablespoon.
Okay, so now I'm gonna grate the ginger. I would say about a teaspoon. It really depends on how much you like ginger. I love ginger, so I tend to put more than a teaspoon. And I always just eyeball it again because I kind of just do it as much as I like. That's what it looks like.
Good job, Jen. Good. So then we have all the ingredients in the bowl, and now we're just gonna mix it up. You know, swirl it around.
Or you can use your hands too.
You can use your hands. Yeah, really wants to really get in there. So, okay, so that's what it looks like. So we'll just let it sit here and marinate for about 15 to 20 minutes. And while that's doing the marinating, then we can move on to making our rice balls.
There are so many variations of rice balls, from just regular salt with seaweed, or you can buy packets like this. That's what I usually do. And this is a wakame and hijiki with also red plum. And it's really easy to use. Basically, all you do is mix this in with the cooked rice. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So here's the rice. And it does give you instructions on how much to put, but you know, I just eyeball it. It really is personal preference on how much you want to use. So I kind of just sprinkle it on a little bit here. And then once I sprinkle it, kind of take this. And when I use this packet, I want to make sure that the rice is warm, because the seaweed right now is, it's dry and it hasn't expanded yet. So what I do is once this is mixed, and then after I make the shape of the rice ball, I'll wrap it in the saran wrap, and then once it sits for like a few minutes, then the seaweed will soften and it'll expand, and that's when it tastes the best. I'm horrible at making the shape of a rice ball. I just can't do it for some reason. I've tried many times. Just comes out looking deformed, and I'm kind of picky. I don't know why, I like that perfect triangle. So what I do is I buy these onigiri shapers, and I bought this on Amazon. They're super cheap, and the great thing about this one is the rice, it's made so that the rice doesn't actually stick, which is great, because I bought one before that didn't have this ridge on it where it doesn't stick, and so I was constantly having to wet it, then put the rice in it, and it was kind of a pain and messy. But this makes it super easy, and it's under $5. And I got 2 sizes. Well, it came in a pack of a big and a small. And all you really do is stick the rice in here. And you take the top and you press it down. There's a place here where you push it out, and it pops right out, and look, it's so clean.
So convenient.
And it's a perfect triangle.
There's another method to making the rice balls, and this is the way I've been taught at the Japanese restaurant I used to work at years ago when I was in college. And she told me that I need saran wrap. I'm like, saran wrap? Why would I need saran wrap? But if you're gonna make the traditional onigiri or rice balls, it's just rice with salt and seaweed wrapped around it. Just like candy, I'll put the rice in a bowl first, and instead of using the rice seasoning, I'll put salt on it. And let's see, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna say like you'll need about a teaspoon?
No, I think that's a lot.
Like half a teaspoon?
Maybe like 2 pinches,
okay,
I would say. But taste it first, because everyone's a little bit different. I like things to be a little bit more salty.
And I don't, so.
I would just say do a pinch at a time to get it to your liking.
So yeah, it's just really a little bit of salt to add flavor to the rice. So yeah, just mix it up so you got the salt evenly around all the rice. And then you're just gonna make these into strips. So I'm gonna cut this in half. Put them on the plate over here. And what I like to do is take the saran wrap, put the rice in the saran wrap. And this way too, rice doesn't stick to your hands, so it doesn't get messy. And then I just kind of wrap it up and then make a triangle shape out of it. Now it's not gonna be as perfect as Candy's because she's got that device, but you know, I think you can get it kind of close. And then you just like wrap the seaweed around it, and that's it. Super simple. So you can also put little ingredients in the middle of these rice balls. So if you're gonna do that, then I would take a little bit of rice first, then put your little ingredient like a umeboshi, or you could put salmon, or you can also put tuna, dried fish flakes, anything in the middle. And then once you put that in the middle, then you put another layer of rice on top. And then again, you wrap it up and then make your triangle and place it again.
And you can put less seaweed if you want.
Yeah.
This
is a little bit overboard, I think.
Personal preference.
Yeah.
It's been marinated now for about, I want to say 20 minutes. And the next step is to drain the soy sauce mixture.
All right, so now that we have the chicken drained, then we're gonna wanna put it in cornstarch. And I like to do this in separate batches so it can get more of that cornstarch. Just make sure all these chicken pieces get their own cornstarch covering. And just kind of mix it up. Yep, then you're gonna have cornstarch all over. A little bit more. And it doesn't have to be like completely covered in cornstarch, but at least a good portion of it.
I am now putting oil in a pot. You want to cook it on high, and don't forget to turn on your fan. Before I put in the first batch of chicken, I just want to make sure the oil is hot enough, so I'll just take a little bit of the batter and I'll put it in there. And if it rises to the top really fast like that, that means it's ready.
About 3 to 5 minutes, the karaage should be ready. And then make sure you just check one of them to see if it's all cooked through. Yep, that's nicely cooked. All right, so we are done with our meal. And we put it on a plate so we can make it look nice.
That's not how we take it on the road trip. We usually put it in a Tupperware. We wrap up the onigiris or the rice balls in saran wrap.
So now you can have your Japanese road trip food whenever you go somewhere. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.
Bye.